Thank you, Mr Speaker. Mr Speaker, the Chris Fully government is getting on with the job of delivering the rail and the road infrastructure needed for a growing state, infrastructure that those opposite could not deliver. The best example, Mr Speaker, is of course the Bruce Highway. When federal Labor scrapped the long-standing 80-20 arrangements to fund major roads like the Bruce Highway, those opposite put up their hands and said, oh well, and they sided with their Labor mates instead of standing up for Queenslanders. But Mr Speaker, we on this side knew the implications of Labor's decision. In simple terms, Mr Speaker, it meant less wide centre line treatments, fewer rest stops, fewer overtaking lanes and a massive lost opportunity to save lives on the Bruce Highway. And that's why the Chris Fully government continued to fight for 80-20 funding, Mr Speaker, and we have succeeded. And we are now getting on with the job of building a better Bruce Highway. We succeeded, Mr Speaker, in securing a $9 billion Bruce Highway targeted safety program, and work has already begun on many projects up and down the Bruce Highway. Last week, I visited a work site at Bopple, where work is already well underway. The program will deliver wide centreline treatments, intersection upgrades, improved rest areas and overtaking lanes in priority sections of the Bruce Highway, all north of Gympie, to improve safety and to reduce the time this vital link is closed due to accidents. Mr Speaker, the Mooloolah River interchange in my community on the Sunshine Coast has also been needed for many years, but it was never funded, and I take the interjection from the Deputy Premier and his and the member for Maroochydore and the rest of us on the Sunshine Coast, but it was never properly funded or progressed under the former Labor government. Mr Speaker, it was neglected so much that in late 2023, the federal government, the federal Labor government, withdrew its funding commitment towards the Mooloolah River interchange, and the former government allowed it to happen. Mr Speaker, our government sees the Mooloolah River interchange as a priority. Just yesterday, I announced alongside the member for Maroochydore that funding would flow for early works on the MRI under our government, just as we said we would do. This is a project that all of my LNP Sunshine Coast colleagues have campaigned to deliver for as long as I've been in the parliament, and for those who have been here longer than I, a long time before as well. And the reason we campaigned for it, Mr Speaker, is because we understand how important this road upgrade is for the people of the Sunshine Coast, and we will deliver it, Mr Speaker. Further south, the Logan to Gold Coast Faster Rail blew out by more than double under Labor because they simply could not manage the project. We're now stepping in, and funding will also flow this year for design and pre-construction work. Labor gave up on the replacement of the Barron River Bridge on the Kennedy Highway between Cairns and Mareeba. We'll deliver a safer, stronger and more dependable connectivity for residents, businesses and freight operators in far north Queensland. I announced last week that the Chris Fully government would match the federal government's contribution of $245 million, and it is in this budget. Wow. That's my commitment. That's the Chris Fully government's commitment to the people in the far north. Mr Speaker, I could go on because there are dozens more examples like this. Examples where the former Labor government gave up and left much-needed transport priorities on life support, and they left Queenslanders wondering.
Got a point of order.
Mr Speaker, I rise in relation to your ruling this morning. The Deputy Premier, the Minister for Education, the Attorney, now the Transport Minister, have all cynically and systematically ignored your ruling that you made in relation to the intent of ministerial statements. I'd ask you to instruct them.
Order.
Mr Speaker, the opposition attends to hear about government policy, not personal and political attacks.
You've made your point. I stated in my statement that I didn't want personal attacks. I don't believe you committed any personal attacks, but I would ask you to consider. You have been focusing on your policy, but I would ask you to focus on your policy specifically.
Mr Speaker, they won't be left wondering under this government because we're getting on with the job, Mr Speaker. Queenslanders voted for a fresh start, and that is just what the Chris Fully government is delivering.